This is the simplest fast that you can use to transform your health, and most doctors will never tell you about it. The 48-hour fast is often called the sweet spot, and this is because it offers meaningful metabolic and cellular benefits along with manageable tolerability, meaning it's easy to do. This is why I'm going to share with you step by step what happens in your body when you do a 48-hour fast, and stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to also tell you exactly how to begin and perform and end this fast to get the most benefit. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski. Thanks for hanging out with me in another video. If you like this kind of information, I run a natural health community, and in there we talk about fasting, eating a good, healthy, no sugar, low carb diet, along with how to overcome complex health conditions that I deal with people in my clinic every single day. So if you really like that type of information and you want to stay on the razor's edge of natural health, click on the link in the description below and join me in my natural health community called Health Club. Let's dive in. So what happens to your body physiologically when you perform a 48-hour fast? See, this is really awesome because there's going to be some key factors that happen in your physiology that will transform your health beyond a shadow of a doubt. The first is that your glycogen is going to start running low. This is stored sugar in the body. After one day, your liver is going to use up most of the glycogen, forcing your body to shift fuel sources. So after all that sugar that's stored in the tissue and in the liver is used up, your body is now moving to a new fuel source. And if you're not familiar with this concept, your body has two different fuel sources. One is sugar and one is fat. So once the sugar's gone, now we're moving to fat in the form of ketones. And ketones will start ramping up at the 24-hour to 48-hour mark. Your body is going to increase fat burning, and it's also going to start producing more ketones. This is going to serve as a really clean fuel for your body, but it also is going to help you think clear, have stable energy, and there's a lot of other benefits. When you start increasing ketones in your body, what you're going to find is that you have a reduction in inflammation, the regeneration of neurological tissue, and this is why it's so healing for the brain. So if you have brain fog, or if you have a brain condition, or even if you want to avoid brain conditions down the road, having a lot of ketones flowing in your body is a really large benefit. It also is going to help increase mitochondrial function, so you're going to have more energy, and it's going to act as an antioxidant and help you also preserve muscle during your fast. If you're not familiar with this, one of the key things that happens during a fast is that's really cool that we all like, is that we actually burn the fat on our body and around our belly. We burn that fat for energy, but we preserve lean muscle mass, which is going to be great at this time. Now, also, we're going to find that autophagy increases. This is your cellular housekeeping. Autophagy is activated more strongly after that 24-hour mark, and it continues into day 2. Now, what's so fascinating about this is it's going to help clear damaged proteins and also support the cellular repair process. So this is something that's going to be highly beneficial in order to help you avoid health conditions in your future, because you're now breaking down all these damaged and broken cells. And as a result of that, your body is healing. So if we want to get rid of cancerous cells, autophagy is a great way to do it. Now, you're also going to find that your insulin drops and your insulin sensitivity improves. When you lower insulin, this is going to also favor fat mobilization. And this, of course, is what we're looking for. We're also going to get the improvement in metabolic markers. So if you're somebody who has, let's say, high cholesterol, high blood sugar, maybe even someone suffering from fatty liver, you're going to improve upon these markers. And you're really going to find benefit if you are someone who is suffering from insulin resistance. And the truth is that many of us are suffering with some level of insulin resistance. Sure, you've probably not been considered a diabetic. You've probably never been diagnosed with anything like that. But if you have belly fat, you can look down and you see fat on your belly, there's a good chance that you have some level of insulin resistance occurring in your body, some level of fatty liver. We're also going to find that growth hormone starts to rise. And this is what's awesome about this shorter fast. A shorter fast still offers you tremendous benefits. You're going to find that elevated growth hormone is going to support lean muscle mass. It's going to also support tissue repair. You know, one of the things that happens to us as we age is that our growth hormone continually starts to go down and down. And unfortunately, as growth hormone plummets, we just don't heal and repair like we used to. So fasting is a great way to kickstart that growth hormone repairing and healing process in the body. And quite frankly, it's gonna help keep you look younger. It's a very important factor for longevity and also health span. Now, we also will find that inflammation decreases. We talked about how ketones reduce inflammation. We could talk about how insulin resistance, if we start to combat that, it reduces inflammation. But just inflammation as a whole, the markers will start to go down as we're doing this multi-day fast, which is a really key factor for any type of healing. When you look at any chronic disease, it all starts with inflammation, okay? So as we look at this fast, one of the key benefits is that it's only 48 hours, and it's a very, very sustainable fast for you to be able to implement into your lifestyle month after month, right? Sometimes, even for me, it's like if I'm gonna do a 3-day fast or a 4-day water fast, one of the big troubles is, well, I still have to work, and working 11-hour days, seeing patients and having to be at the top of your game all while fasted can sometimes be a little bit tricky. So therefore, what I like to do is use this 48-hour fast, and that's why I'm teaching you about it today. Now, some of the key benefits that you would see from this 48-hour fast, just to be very clear, I talked about some of the physiological changes that's happening in your body, but let's just break it down and make it really simple. One, you're gonna start seeing faster fat loss, okay? This is awesome for anybody trying to lose fat and maintain lean muscle. It's going to help improve your blood sugar control. It's going to support mental clarity and also help you with reduced brain fog. You're going to find that you're going to clean up your body with that autophagy process, getting rid of those broken down cells. You're going to reduce inflammation, which is going to help reduce pain and discomfort along with the risk of chronic disease. And it's going to really offer a physiological reset, which will in turn help you make better choices in your diet and also in your overall health. So I want to get into a few very important tips now that are necessary in order to kickstart this fast, perform the fast, and end the fast. This is what I said I would do at the beginning of the video. Let's dive into this. So if we're going to perform a 48-hour fast, we want to prepare correctly. What we want to do is the 24 to 48 hours leading up to this fast, we actually want to start eating low carb. We want to go sugar-free, and we also want to make sure that we're eating nutrient-dense meals. Okay, this is going to help us avoid that low carb shock that can happen if you're eating a really unhealthy meal system day to day. So therefore, lowering the carbs, lowering the sugar prior to the fast is helpful. We're also going to make sure that we're hydrating well, drinking lots of electrolytes, and cutting our caffeine consumption down. This is helpful too, because if you're someone who's addicted to caffeine and you go to a fast and you don't drink any caffeine, it often is going to give you a big old fat headache, and nobody wants that. So make sure that you're doing these things prior to the fast. So it's really about low carb, low sugar, low caffeine. Now, during the 48-hour fast, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna drink lots of water. You're gonna make sure that you're consuming plenty of electrolytes. This is key here. This is everything. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of electrolytes. If you want some resources for electrolytes, I'll put links in the description here below. But we wanna make sure that we're keeping up the sodium, the potassium, and the magnesium in our body. This will prevent you from feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or even cramping, along with helping you avoid headaches. What happens is when you're fasting, you start to flush out a lot of these electrolytes, so you have to make sure that you're putting lots of them back in. I will tell you, when I'm fasting, I barely ever drink any water without electrolytes in it. That's how important that it is, and that's how important it is to help keep your energy up and help you feel good. If you fasted without electrolytes, there's a good chance you felt terrible, and you probably never wanted to do it again. So let's make sure that we're getting in lots of electrolytes during this time. Now, we also need to make sure that we're resting when needed. Sometimes we get this idea that, well, when we're fasting, it's like we should just be able to go on with regular life as we always would. Sometimes we have to make sure that if our body's telling us to rest during the fast, we take some periods of rest. We also are going to want to refrain from doing heavy weightlifting, high intensity running, or cardiovascular exercise. It's just going to wear you out too fast. What I would encourage is a lot of walking during this time. So go for walks, go for 30-minute walk in the morning, 30-minute walk at night. Lots of walking is awesome, because not only is being out in nature peaceful and it's going to help calm your mind, but it also is going to help in the process of fat burning, which is what you're looking for at this period of time. Now let's look at how you actually break this fast. We talked about how to kick it off, how to actually perform the fast, and now how do you break the fast? Well, what you want to do is you want to break your fast this is called the refeeding phase, very gently. The important part is that your digestion is resting during this time, and though you may have the idea that you want to go crush a large meal, you really don't, because you're actually going to mitigate many of the very positive results that you got if you go into an unhealthy, high carb, high sugar meal, or even a large meal that's very difficult for your digestion to break down after many days of rest. So we want to refeed gently. Basically, we want to start with something very small, like a serving of bone broth. And then you also want to have easily digested foods as well. Typically, something like some berries along with some steamed vegetables is a great option, and also some light protein. From there, after you have that initial little bump, let's say, to get your digestion going again, wait a couple hours, and then you can have a bigger meal. You want to, of course, avoid that carb binge, that sugar binge, and you want to make sure that you're eating a lot of good, healthy foods during this time. And the reason that this is very, very important is because when you're fasting, your digestion and your microbiome make some very important changes. Your gut health is improved dramatically during this time. You kill down yeast, you kill down pathogenic bacteria, and you start healing the lining of the gut. And so if you go and you have a big sugar, carb bomb type of meal, the bad thing is that you're feeding all the different pathogens in your gut that you really just killed down to a significant extent. You're putting the food in for them, because a lot of pathogens in the gut, they like these very easily digestible sugars and carbohydrates. So we have to make sure that we're eating complex carbs for one, but also low carb in order to actually maintain the benefits that we got from this fast. So this is a quick summary here. A 48-hour fast is considered the sweet spot. It's not too long, it's not too short, but it's not trivial either. It actually offers some really impactful benefits without being overwhelming. As I said, for anybody who's getting up and going to work every day, and you maybe have a very fast-paced, little bit stressful lifestyle, this 48-hour fast still fits into it without that 3 to 4 day fast, which can be overwhelming for many. And now, as you're doing this fast, it's going to reliably promote ketosis, autophagy, lower insulin resistance, and improve insulin sensitivity. It's going to reduce inflammation, and it's going to really offer you benefits that you're looking for to improve your health day in and day out. This fast could be performed easily twice a month without any struggle. So if you're interested in fasting, and this is one of the first times you've heard about this, certainly ease your way into a fast, starting with a 16 and 8 intermittent fast, a 24-hour fast, and then typically you can graduate from there to a 48-hour fast and beyond if you so choose. But just understand that a 48-hour fast is a very reasonable fast to do, and it'll offer you a ton of benefits. I'm Dr. Zyrowski. If you love this video, check out this video right here next.